Remote teams certainly are not a new concept. However, effectively managing remote teams in today's environment, it's a different story. We're navigating new tools, evolving expectations, and of course, the integration of AI. So if your approach to managing remote teams hasn't changed compared to 5 or 10 years ago, you might find yourself falling behind. Hello, my name is Christian Erhard, and over the course of my career, I had the pleasure to build and manage international teams. And that implied that, well, we worked in a remote setup all the time. That was the rule, not the exception. So today I'll be sharing some of the key strategies that successful companies use to manage remote teams effectively. But first, if you're looking to stay informed about ways to improve collaboration and productivity, please hit that like button. And also, I'd be interested to hear in the comments what's your biggest challenge when it comes to managing remote teams. The data indicates a clear trend. A significant portion of the workforce, over 36 million individuals in the US alone, are working remotely at least part-time. And what many managers overlook is that remote work has moved far beyond simply work from home. Right? We are now dealing with a variety of new aspects. Just to call out a few, global talent pools. That's where teams are competing for the same roles. Employees are increasingly prioritizing flexibility and a positive work culture over salary increases. Of course, there is in global organizations a necessity for teams to collaborate across various time zones and locations, not to forget the customer who expects 24/7 responsiveness, and AI. Well, I'm not sure you're aware, AI tools are set up to potentially automate 60% of management tasks. So these are just a few aspects defining the current remote work culture. Well, dealing with all these changes isn't easy, so to navigate this evolving landscape, think of modern remote management as resting on 4 pillars. And these pillars provide a framework for adapting your approach to remote team management. Let's start with the first pillar, the communication revolution. The idea of daily check-ins and frequent status updates, it might not be as effective anymore. Research even indicates that over-communication reduces remote employee productivity by 23%. So the shift is towards what I refer to as intelligent communication. And this means making existing meetings more impactful rather than adding more of them. This involves transforming your conversations and meetings into accessible databases. And you can use tools like MeetGeek, for instance. MeetGeek can automatically capture, transcribe, and summarize your meetings into a database that's then not just searchable, you can have a conversation with it. You can ask a question like, what was the outcome of my last client call? Well, with tools like that, you can help your team to spend less time in meetings and more time executing. Let's move to pillar number 2, AI-powered productivity. Embracing new technology and workflows is increasingly important if you want to stay successful. Historically, managers might have looked at task completion and hours, but just to give you 3 examples, today, effective managers leverage AI to, well, number 1, automatically prioritize tasks based on the deadlines and the potential impact. They use AI to identify and anticipate project bottlenecks before they arise. And if they want to generate a performance insight, they're not spending time on creating a manual report anymore. So you see, leveraging AI in these ways can offer tangible benefits. For example, a client of mine, they were struggling to allocate resources across multiple teams in a global project. So they leveraged AI to analyze the project dependencies and the individual workloads. Well, the solution, it was far from perfect, but it allowed them to make better decisions. The third pillar is about results-based performance management. When we look at traditional management approaches, they often involved controlling how team members worked, for example, by tracking hours, monitoring their screens, or even counting their keystrokes. Well, all of this sends a message like, I don't trust you, and it comes from a mindset that wants to control employees and penalize rule breaking. From my perspective, the more effective approach is to measure outcomes and not just activities. activities. This mindset also empowers employees to do their job. Companies that have moved to a results-based management observe notable uptick in employee satisfaction as well as productivity. So this is likely because people can then shift their attention to things that truly contribute to success rather than just seeming busy all the time. I want to share with you 4 tools that will help you to manage your remote team effectively. Number 1, setting clear bi-weekly outcomes rather than just setting tasks. Number 2, will provide your employees with maybe even full autonomy regarding how they reach those outcomes. Number 3, use data to measure impact, not just activity. And number 4, well, you need to offer the necessary resources and remove obstacles. Well, it almost sounds too simple. Well, it's simple, but not always easy. And please remember, your role as a manager is not to micromanage adults and hold their hand. It's to articulate a vision, provide guidance, to set a clear path, particularly in a time where AI adoption grows. Last but not least, pillar 4, we must not underestimate its impact, its culture and connection at scale. A significant percentage of remote employees feel like they're disconnected from the company culture. However, organizations that are efficiently managing remote teams, they're not just maintaining their culture, they are making it better, even stronger than the culture that they had in a traditional office setting. And instead of assuming that people will naturally bond and create connections, successful remote managers take proactive steps. And here are some examples. So for example, virtual mentorship programs that build connections and networks between senior and junior employees. That also helps skill sharing. They create bespoke cross-department collaboration projects. They have celebration systems in place, both on an individual level as well as for team achievements. And most importantly, they create dedicated spaces for human connection and building relationships. So companies with robust remote cultures have demonstrated 40% lower turnover and 25% higher productivity. Just to share from my own experience, I once introduced a regular coffee break roulette. That was a very simple tool that just randomly matched 2 members of the team for a 15-minute virtual coffee break. There was no agenda, just a space to connect. Well, initially there was a bit of hesitation, but after a few weeks, people come back and said like they really appreciate those brief unscripted moments. It seemed to foster a sense of camaraderie that was missing before when it was just daily project-focused work. So I hope you see how implementing these strategies can significantly impact how you manage your remote team by focusing on smart communication, leveraging AI for productivity, emphasizing results over activity, and intentionally fostering culture and connection. You can create a more productive and engaged remote workforce. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and if you're interested in learning more about how MeetGeek can enhance your team's productivity, I recommend watching this video.